At Salt and Light, we believe our decisions matter. And actually, as leaders, our leadership shows up in the decisions we make and how we make them. We need to go back a step, actually, when we think about decision making and understand the root of the word to decide. When we decide, ultimately what we're doing is we're cutting off alternatives. We're choosing to walk in one direction despite all those other options for moving forward. That's applicable, of course, in our professional lives, but actually in our lives more generally. I love this quote by Andy Stanley. He says that we write the story of our lives one decision at a time, which is pretty powerful if we think about the science suggests that we may make up to 35,000 decisions every single day. And what I love about decision making is decision making holds together all these different elements, the rational and the logical, alongside the emotional and the gut. It brings together our values and our beliefs and our character. It is even influenced by the cultures and the context in which we're making those decisions. So decisions are hard, they're difficult. And actually, how often when we think about our decisions, do we think about the ripple effect, the impact of our decisions, not just on us and those nearest to us, but beyond that, to organizations, to cultures, to countries, even across generations? Decisions have a ripple and therefore are important. And as leaders, it's not just about the decisions we make, which show up what's important to us and what we believe and what we value, but the how we go about making decisions. We can be really clear about the decisions we make, but then how we take people on the journey. Decision making is tough as leaders. It's tough when we're making decisions on our own, let alone when we're trying to make decisions in highly diverse and cross-functional teams. We're wanting to tap into the collective intelligence of the group, but at the same time, we need to move towards a decision that we can all buy into. I love this quote by David Marquette. A lot of what we're trying to do by debating and discussing and deciding together is to embrace that collective intelligence, to embrace the thoughts and ideas and experiences of others. But at some point in that process, we need to make a decision. Many of us will be used to making decisions in the context of our organizations when we think about strategy. What is strategy if it isn't choice? Ultimately, in strategy, whether it be about positioning, whether it be about segmentation, whether it be about geography or about product choice, what are we doing with strategy? We're making decisions about what we will focus on, what we will resource, and what we won't. These are ultimately decisions we're making in cross-functional teams. And so some might say that decision-making is this game of chess, when we're anticipating the moves of our competitors and making choices that ultimately will help us beat our competition. But Mark and I, we think a better metaphor is the game of poker. We would agree with Annie Duke, the former poker player, that poker is a much better metaphor for the complexity and challenge of making decisions in a complex and ambiguous and a world that's filled with both chance or luck or providence. So let's now dig into the art and science of decision making. Let's look at some ways in which we can embrace decision making more intentionally, utilizing a framework that we feel gives you the best practices available to thinking through decisions and becoming better decision makers.